Howdy everyone, hope you're doing well out there. Welcome back to Integrative Psychonautics. In today's video, I wanted to talk with you a bit about the role of feeling safe when it comes to growth, transformation, healing, leveling up. This applies not just for the kind of therapeutic end of things, but also for, the more personal development, expanding, becoming your best self side of things too. I think it's really important to understand how safety applies. And so I thought I'd just kind of lay out some quick thoughts about that for you guys. So if that interests you, please watch on. Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit more of a quick brain dump. My intention here is not to yammer on in a long-winded fashion, but just to kind of make some really kind of juicy, salient points for you here. Okay, so really the kind of TLDR basic thing I want you to understand that this whole video is about, and you can click off the video here after I say this if you really want to, is I want you to get that the felt experience of safety in the body essentially kind of unlocks the read-write ability of your nervous system to change and update itself. Let me say that again. The felt sense of safety, right? The felt sense of at ease, well-being, comfort, trust. These things are the keys that unlock your nervous system's ability to change itself. So if you want to switch off the video now because you've gotten the point, feel free. But if you want to hear why this might be so, watch on and I'll try to make a few key points here. And again, keep it pretty brief. So the more you look at different types of therapy, right? So let me back up a little bit more and set a little more context here. So my training is as a coach, as an NLP practitioner, and as a hypnotherapist, right? So that's the world that I've entered into understanding how to create transformational experiences for people, right? What fed that, of course, and the interest in that was my experiences with psychedelics and my experiences with meditation and spiritual practices. But that's really my training. That's the technology and the kind of worldview and the mindset on the human nervous system that I'm kind of arriving at this with. But in order to become a good coach, I've also spent years and years and years nerding out on different therapy modalities and approaches to therapy and therapy techniques. I'm really kind of always self-educating to stay current, to stay sharp, to stay well-rounded, so I can really help you. So I can really help, deliver useful messages on this channel, or, if a person's a client for me, so I can really help them and not feel stuck for options and ways to go with working with people. Now, because of that, I've got kind of this really, cross-trained view into working with people. And one of the things you'll notice, and I think this is maybe most explicitly clear in, let's say, hypnosis, but you see this all over the place, is that in order to help people access the information inside themselves that maybe they need to get in touch with, or have a new insight, or have a breakthrough moment, or release some sort of, old wound that needs, updating and letting go of and, completing. Almost universally, there's an approach to trying to emphasize an experience of relaxation, comfort, and trust and safety. And I think, the real thing here is that the more open and relaxed we are, the more we are capable. It's like this, the metaphor that's coming to mind right now is it's almost like, cornstarch, like when you're teaching kids or when you were a kid, perhaps, where you kind of take some cornstarch and mix it with water. And if you push on it really hard, it becomes a really hard, rigid kind of substance. But if you let it kind of just relax in your hand, it gets all soft and fluid, right? I think the nervous system is kind of like that. We kind of respond to our inputs either by tensing up and bracing and getting ready to respond in some sort of way or defend ourselves. Or if we feel safe enough, we start to relax and open and get more fluid. And I think the point of a lot of therapy techniques is to get us in that relaxed place. And what I've found, especially my hypnosis trainings, but, same thing with NLP, same thing with visualization and mindfulness practices, same thing in somatic therapy where we're doing somatic tracking, we're paying attention to the body, we're highly attuned. Same thing even in really good talk therapy. If the therapist is good at making a real solid human connection with you, all of these are inputs and cues that create that opening and that softening that makes it a little bit safer and a little bit easier to explore perhaps what the issue is, and also to try on a new behavior or a new mindset or a new response or a new perspective or a new interpretation, et cetera, right? So it's really this felt sense of safety that creates your capacity to heal and change and grow and expand and shift, right? And this is so contrary. Last point I'll make here, and then we'll kind of wrap the video. This is so contrary to our kind of societal messaging, especially if you're, American like I am, or I would say from a lot of the kind of modern westernized countries, there's so much messaging in our cultures of, pushing through and achieving and doing, and it's about force, right? It's about willpower. It's about, even in the personal development world, you'll see there's whole genres with all kinds of teachers out there teaching about the importance of, being tough and willpower and pushing through. And I want to be clear that I have no issue with that. There is a time and a place for that way of engaging with the world, but that's kind of the, let's say, in the soup around us. That's kind of the default messaging of how you change something, especially yourself, is through this means of force, right? Pushing yourself, challenging yourself. And, interestingly enough, that can work, but that also comes at a really big price. And it can also often work against a smooth growth evolution process, right? So I really want you to just get that if you want to heal, if you want to grow, if you want to change, no matter what the particulars of that are, whether that is, again, some sort of deep therapeutic intent, or whether that's more like, I want to become, wealthy, and I want to travel, and I want to blah, blah, blah. No matter what it is, consider that it is the felt sense of safety, we could call it, peace, ease, well-being, trust, comfort, that is kind of the key that unlocks your ability to reorganize yourself in some way. So I hope that's useful for whatever that's worth. Thank you for watching as always. And if you're new to the channel, this is the first time you've seen me, please do consider subscribing if you like this kind of content and my presentation. Or if you're a return viewer, please consider giving a thumbs up to let the algorithm know that this is a helpful, useful video. If this resonates for you, do leave a comment down below. I always love to see what your guys' thoughts about my videos are. And I'll have new content on the way for you very soon. And I truly wish you the best. I hope this is useful and helpful, and I hope you're thriving and happy and growing in all the wonderful ways. Much love to you all, and I'll talk to you soon.